bear poker, Dillon Brooks.
Is he still that?
Yes.
I think he wants to run from that title.
4 years, $80 million. If you're anything like me, you emerged out of a pool this weekend and got yelled at by J.J. Redick telling you how great Dillon Brooks was. Oh. Well, here's his numbers.
Really? I didn't see that.
I did not hear that.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see
so
that.
he defended this contract.
It was you know what it was? It was an extreme example of like, hey, you're going to go play in the Chinese league. You're no good. You don't belong in the NBA. So
No,
JJ
listen,
really
nobody actually thought he was going to China, and some incredibly smart people months ago knew exactly where he was going. Wilds, what's my New Year's resolution?
What is it? To be less humble.
Run the tape, please.
We're not running.
Run it. Oh, we're running. Listen, he will be a good culture setter for Ime Udoka and the Houston Rockets next year. I'll call that shot right now. But I think that's going to happen. He's a free agent. They have cap space. They need a vet. They need a defensive mind. He'll go down there and he'll go into NBA obscurity where he probably belongs because he got a little too big for his britches. Okay, so that's was a great job by me, first of all.
No,
Second
the
of all,
NBA obscurity part.
What? Well,
that's a low blow.
Okay, well, it's true.
I don't think that's true.
Okay,
Because
well,
I don't think they're going to be obscure.
Also, now the audience probably understands why I was so insistent on complimenting Brew for getting the Russ thing right, because I knew I was about to compliment myself for getting this one right. But
I should have known.
Can I tell you something?
Known.
I have not seen this level of insane free agent spending by one team since the cap spike year. They have given Fred VanVleet, who I like, but it's a lot of money for Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, and Brew's guy Jock Landale over the next 3 years. Each of them makes $70 million. They make $70 million combined. $70 million per year on Jock Landale. Dillon
Brooks.
Brooks.
He's only $8 million a year.
Well, yeah. Well, 8 plus 20 plus 42 gets you 70. And here's my question: what were the Dillon Brooks competing offers? Why did you have to end?
There's a lot of that.
That's where I agree. I love VanVleet.
With Kyrie, it's different though. He's already on the team. You have traded away stuff for him. Brew, who was the team that was like, we'll do 3 years 60 for Dillon Brooks, but we're bowing out at 4 for 80, and that's where the Rockets came over the top.
I agree. In fact, I don't think I would have went as high as $20 million because again, who else was offering that? I like the signing just as a player. I think he's good for that. Like, they need some veterans now. You don't want a roster full of young people. So they got some veterans now, and I think I think he's good for that. He'll bring defense. I bet you Udoka loves him. But why 4 years?
4 years.
And why $80 million? Like, I'm thinking 2 or 3 years at about $15 million is what I would have liked.
Hold up.
12 to 15.
Honest question. Who would you rather have? Take the contracts out of it. Gabe Vincent or Dillon Brooks? And not if you're the Rockets. I'm talking about in general. I understand the Rockets, it's different. But Gabe Vincent went 3 years at the mid-level, under the mid-level, right under it, $11 million a year. Dillon Brooks, for 4 years, the reason that I thought he was going to go to Houston was because I thought they could give him a big 1 year balloon payment to make sure they got to the salary floor. So the
it is decreasing.
I understand, but but you're still tied to him. It goes 22, 20, 18, or 19, 18, something like that. It's baffling to me. I don't understand why they do it. I don't get it.
But I like him as a player there. I do like him as a player there.
It's odd that he's going to be the culture setter, but when he left Memphis, they were like, we need to reset the culture here.
I don't think he'll be the culture setter, but he'll be in the discussion.
Yeah,
that.
Okay. Savvy vet.
That'll be, by the way,
savvy vet.
That might be the last time we ever say his name on this show.
We're going to be talking about the Rockets, baby.
Well, Russell Westbrook back with the Clippers on a very, very team-friendly deal. 2 years, less than $8 million per. No, not per year. Geez, total. Last year he made $47 million, Brew. Are you surprised at this historic pay cut?
No. I always thought he was going back to the Clippers.
You nailed this,
on this
man.
deal.
I got to give you credit. You nailed it exactly.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. The second year, he's got a player option. So if he plays great this year, let's say they get to the conference finals and he's a big factor and plays well, next year he'll get more money. So he can opt out of it. So and I don't know who was going to sign him for more money.
I thought Chicago might, and I thought Brooklyn might. The two teams that
I
had
think
the
this
ability.
is a better place for him. Now, if they bring in Harden or Lillard, that changes everything.
Well, so can I ask you on this real quick? Does this change the Harden pursuit? Like, in your guys' opinion, they've played together before. At the end of it, both guys were like, out of here. That was Harden's last year with the Rockets. Yeah. That was Russ's only year with the Rockets. Like, does that, obviously the money, it doesn't change it. Money-wise,
right.
asset-wise, anything, he's playing for the league minimum. And the reason I wanted to give Brew credit was because when everyone was talking about him, not everyone, when Brew and a few others were talking about him saying with the Clippers, I was just very kind of cold about it, which was they can only sign him for $3.9 million. There's no chance he plays for it. And Brew made the point of he's made a ton of money. It's where he's from. He's happy. He could do it, and he did do it. But now, do you think that changes the math on them, feverishly pursuing James Harden?
Yeah, don't you think the Harden thing to the Clippers is just leverage? You don't actually see him going there, do you?
What?
I think it's possible.
Leverage for what? What's he trying to get leverage for? I'm just being serious.
I mean, they're saying that's where he wants to go.
There's no contract.
I guess he does. I don't know. I guess he does want to go.
I mean,
look, if I'm James Harden,
yeah,
I mean, Clippers is a good fit, but Philly, is it better than Philadelphia?
But
I don't think it's any better than Philadelphia,
Philly.
right? But the Clippers, this is why I like Harden with Kawhi and Paul George. I really do. I think we might get to that later. I really like that, but what I'm leery of is pushing Russ back to the bench. And he was professional in L.A., but I get it if he doesn't really like it. And are you going to get the most out of him, that being the case? And he's a high-energy guy. He's a downhill point guard. They need that because Kawhi and Paul George, the two best players, are low energy, in my view. And so you need this guy
Do you think
really
they'd have to
energy.
push him to the bench? They could start Harden and Westbrook. That's what they did in Houston. You would start Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, and Paul George in the center.
Maybe.
Am I again, I'm not out here saying I think that's going to, you guys know I don't believe in the Clippers.
Right.
But I think that they would, because especially keep in mind,
they might try.
if you were to get Harden, you probably are trading Terrence Mann. I would think they would probably assume they are going to start all of them. Start everyone and your center and go from there. If Zubac's still there.
I guess it's possible.
But I am happy for Russ.
Yeah, have him come off the bench and just be like, look,
this is
somebody's getting hurt.
That's true. That's very true.
Rockets have a pair of new teammates, Fred VanVleet and the Grizzlies provocateur and